seems fine.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Sorry about the delay. We're just two women trying to hold everything down.
Oh, yay.
Yeah,
Welcome to a Wine Affair podcast live.
yeah. Instagram Live version. This could be a thing.
It
I feel like this could be a
could.
thing. Yeah,
Totally could. Oh, I love this.
yeah. So tonight we're going to be giving some of our Thanksgiving picks. We wanted to come on and just share a few of our favorites since it's coming up. It's right around the corner, and we wanted to let you guys know some of our picks and some sort of unusual picks. And I just want to say a quick thing here as we get started. One of our things about Wine Affair podcast in general is we wanted to have people explore the world of wine, and we want to have people try different things that they may not be aware of, and try everything. Try from different countries. Try from smaller wineries that you love. Try different things. So I know that the usual traditional pairings are Pinot Noir and Chardonnay and all of that, which are great. And if that's what you love, continue on with that. But I want to just give some options. So Andy and I put our heads together and we came up with some options that are deterring from that a little bit. And we wanted to just share those with you guys. And please feel free to ask questions and make your comments and let us know what you think. If there's anything that you guys love, I always love to know other people's suggestions as well. So let the fun begin.
Yes, cheers. Thank you. I know it's been fun, like seeing the leaves finally change, feeling the fall, finally feel like I got all the fall feels now. And it's truly been something coming into Thanksgiving because I feel like as the world revs up towards the end of the year, I personally have to learn to calm down.
Yeah.
And so I was super excited to kind of bring some of our favorite Thanksgiving pours and share them with everyone and get everyone's feedback on what they love. And I think I'm going to have to like raise a glass and do the first
Oh,
toast.
yes.
Very first toast of the night. Cheers. Uh,
Cheers.
something, if you were listening to our most recent episode with Harry on the art of sabrage, and we've been talking to a few other people who were talking about how not only the bubbles and the effervescence of the champagne or cavas or whatever is done in the traditional method, it's also the smell of brioche. So I always recommend, whether it be Thanksgiving, your holiday meal, or just because before you have dinner, I pop a bottle and pour a glass of sparkling wine. And I think it's the best. It's not only celebratory, it prepares your mind, it prepares your body, it prepares your soul for what you're about to pour and enjoy. But they say there's actually like scientific knowledge behind it that it helps inspire your appetite. So I personally I always have cava or or even Corbel because we love mimosas in my house, especially in the fall. Or any French or traditional method champagne or sparkling wine done in the champagne tradition will help give this kind of the bubbles, the feel, the love, the beauty, and that's how we normally toast off champagne. And it may not make it to the table for most of my family and friends, but we do. We pop a bottle and we pour a glass. So cheers. That's what I want to start tonight's tasting off with.
Oh, cheers to that.
And it is good. It does. It like while the rolls are baking, while the pies are like more like cooling, it has all the same flavors. My mouth is salivating. It has that high acidity that even goes great with the green bean casseroles or, whatever, even the cranberry dishes on your table. This is a fun one to start with. So we normally have like 4 glasses at my table. I don't know about you, Cindy, but I like to have multiple glassware so everyone can sip and taste a little bit of everything.
That's a great philosophy. I wanted to actually touch upon that too. Great segue for that. Because I want to encourage you guys too. You don't have to pick one wine for everything. That's the other thing. I want you to have the openness to try different wines with different courses. So Andy's giving this great example of starting your evening off with sparkling, which I love, because it's so festive and it just says holidays. And champagne is so versatile; it goes with everything, but it's also a great opener. So it can carry you through your meal, but it's a great way to start and try different wines with different things. Have a red, have a white, have different courses, different wines. Be experimental. I want to open your mind to that too. So give me your thoughts on that as well.
I love that. No, that's perfect, because I think we were talking about this when we were talking about planning the episode. Like, Thanksgiving, yes, sometimes it's your immediate family, sometimes it's your best friends, sometimes it's new friends or new family, like new in-laws, new extended family as it grows, or you move somewhere different and you invite someone new. Like, changing the dishes on the table and the people around the table, why not change the wine? Like, it helps create more conversation too. That helps to keep it on, more PC topics. So I always appreciate that. Leave it to me to talk about wine at Thanksgiving dinner. It's what I'm thankful for.
Me too. I hear you.
Love that.
Well,
I love that.
I made a switch to my wine at the last moment because I had to go with something that I really, really loved. So I'm going to share this with you guys. I'm going to start with my white pick, and this is a Chenin Blanc.
Ooh.
Show the bottle there, and it is the Roche Fleury Chenin Blanc Vouvray.
I see the V.
This is the big V. Can't miss it. And this is a 2022. One of the things I wanted to do was find things that are really versatile and food friendly and affordable. So this one is $10.99 for this bottle.
Wow.
And it drinks. Yes, and it doesn't drink like a $10.99 bottle at all. And the alcohol on this is 12%, so it's a fair amount of alcohol. And I love this because it's so versatile. And with Chenin Blanc, there's something for everybody. So there's a dry, there's an off dry, there's a sweet, and there's a sparkling of Chenin Blanc.
Nailed it.
And so you can, pick a style for anybody at your table that you think they're going to love, and you can go with different styles too. That's another thing you could do, is have one varietal with all different styles throughout the meal. It's another thought. So this one I love because it's so versatile and it's so easy drinking. It does have high acidity, which is great because we have a lot of heavy food on the table at this time of year. So it's going to cut through the fattiness of a lot of these things and the richness of it. And so it's such a good food pairing with a lot of the foods that you would have at your Thanksgiving table. Also, it's a great appetizer wine as well. So you could start with this. This would be great with cheese, obviously, great with rich cheeses and all of that, and anything you would have on your appetizer table. Anything fried too, like this is going to cut through some of that, much in the way that champagne does, just without the bubbles. So if you had, fried shrimp or fried calamari or whatever you're doing for your fried foods, little pigs in a blanket, this would be delicious with bacon, anything. So it's great for that too. So it could be a throughout your meal thing if you wanted to do that. And on the nose, I mean, this is it's such an elegant, soft wine. It's just right in the middle. It's not dry. If anything, it leads with a little sweetness, but I would not say it's a sweet wine. It's sweet, it's in that apricot, but it's definitely in the middle. It's semi-sweet, so it's not going to be too sweet, and it's definitely not going to be too dry, but it has the acidity for the food that you want. So on the nose for this, I definitely get that peach, the honey note. Definitely, I'm also getting like a honeysuckle note here. It's really, really pretty.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Yeah, it's just got a beautiful nose on it.
Well, it's a beautiful color too, just that lighter gold, more of a straw.
Yeah, this is more of a straw gold. It's really pretty.
Yeah, perfect around the table. Goes with all the fall colors.
Exactly.
Nice gold. Yeah. But I think too, you mentioned with the bacon, like, we don't get that fancy at my personal family's home, but like I think the bacon wrapped dates or like
Right.
how you can incorporate certain hors d'oeuvres if you're having a party and you want something done ahead of time. Like the bacon wrap dates would be so good with that, the Chenin Blanc. And I've always, my sister and I, one day we will have either a bacon wrap turkey. I don't know if you've seen those done on
Oh,
Pinterest, the
yes.
bacon
Yeah.
wrap turkeys. And it's also on my goal. I've never had a fried turkey.
Oh, I never
So
had either.
right? Like people talk about it, but I haven't tried it. So I think it's something we should challenge ourselves one day. It'll go
Okay.
perfect
Yeah.
with these two wines.
Yeah. We should try that.
Fried flavor,
I
yeah.
highly recommend the bacon stuffed dates. I did that, finally did it one year, and it was delicious. So yes, great appetizer and super easy.
And
Yeah.
easy. It sounds, it's fancy, but like it's
It's
easier than you think.
fancy. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're like,
I
ooh,
love that.
I made a fancy thing.
Well, cheers. I love that. Chenin Blanc is a
Yeah.
favorite. So Chenin and sparkling, first course.
Yes.
Check.
Wine sparkling. I would say this is medium body and medium finish on this too, but very, very balanced. And I'm definitely getting on the palate, I didn't say that before, definitely getting a green apple note as well. So it's a really lovely, you got the stone fruit and the green apple, and that apricot comes through. It's really just a really lovely balanced wine and affordable. So I love that too. So try this. Also, highly recommend South African Chenin Blanc if you had not had that. Different flavor profile, but again, very affordable, very lovely. If you want something a little bit drier in a different different region, highly recommend trying that too. All Chenin Blanc for me is lovely, but those two regions for me are really, really great. So encourage you to try.
I love that. Cheers. Yes. And you can pour
Cheers.
a little before and at the beginning of dinner and then pour a little more around at the end. It's, sip it before, during, and after. I love that. Well, that's what, like, I took it a step further into the white world and I did go with the traditional Chardonnay.
Okay.
But mine has a special story and a place to it. So Chenin Blanc actually is what finally got me, other than champagne, we're not a big white wine family. But Chenin Blanc taught me, wow, this is really good. And it offers a lot with different meals or different pours or pairings. And so when I went to work for a winery in Virginia, I've mentioned New Kent a number of times, but it further extended my family's exposure to white wines. And so this isn't just a Chardonnay. This is a Virginia New Kent winery.
Oh.
It's their reserve Chardonnay. So the beauty of Virginia is it's not that big, oaky, buttery, though they're good for certain occasions. They have two different options. So they have a regular Chardonnay that's stainless steel, more green apple, more crisp, more fruit, lovely for a salad, lovely for summer. But when it comes a little cooler outside, I haven't opened it because I'm keeping this for the next couple weeks. This is our reserve Chardonnay. So at New Kent Winery, their reserve Chardonnay won the Governor's Cup. It is a special bottle because not only is it aged 9 to 12 months in new American oak barrels, but it's also done Sur Lie. So not to get too technical in terms, but Sur Lie was a really cool thing that you'll start to taste and you experience. It's a little bit different than just oak aging. So at New Kent Winery, we let it sit on the yeast lees, and it's really cool. You would see them. We had a couple clear vats where it were in the barrel, and it would settle down to the bottom, and then we would get a rake, and we would stir or rake the lees, not the leaves, the lees, and we'd mix them up. And you'd see them reactivate and start swimming around. So it's the yeast in the wine. And it does give it a little bit of that brioche. It gives it a little bit of that toast. But it gives it that softness. And this is a Chardonnay that is just smooth and silky and soft. It has a hint of the butter, a hint of the toast, a hint of the yolk, but not enough to overwhelm your palate or your food. And that's why I started pouring it at Thanksgiving dinner, because the first time I tried it and poured it at a tasting, I was like, wow, this is mashed potatoes. This is turkey gravy. This is your bread butter rolls and like bread. Like we didn't really have stuffing or the breading at our Thanksgiving until I was older, and I was like, holy cow! This tones down the spices in that pudding, or not the pudding, but in the stuffing or
Yeah.
whatever you're having, and it just apple pie, the crispness. So this Chardonnay Reserve is not overwhelmingly oaky on the nose. It's soft, it's lighter on the palate, but it is heavier in body enough to stand up to the fats. If you have a fattier turkey or even the dark meat of the turkey, it will stand up to that without overwhelming it. So New Kent Winery, if you ever visit Virginia, highly recommend it. If you don't make it to Virginia, no worries. Just look for or ask your local wine shop for something aged Sur Lie. Chenin Blanc, I've seen that aged Sur Lie. You can find wines Sur Lie, and I think it'll add a really nice new experience to your Thanksgiving dinner. So that's my wine pick, my white wine.
That's great. Now, if people can't find it, can they order it online? Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
they do. And while I was working there, we slowly opened up to almost all the states. So the Dombrowski family are now the current owners. Highly raise a glass. Cheers to them. Hope to have them on a new episode coming up soon. But yes, check out New Kent Winery. Lovely Instagram page, lovely website. They also have a brewery. So you can order and ship the wine to yourself, and then next time you decide to drive and visit historic Virginia, you'll have to pop in. It's only 20 minutes outside of Richmond, 25 minutes from Williamsburg, an hour from DC. So highly recommend it.
Okay. Awesome.
Yum. Yeah, perfect way to start a meal. It's like we're first course down.
I
Right,
know.
Cindy? If we were round two around the table, what's next?
Well, I went France all the way here, so those of you that know me know why, but yes. So I went with a Côtes du Rhône.
Oh,
See if I can
lovely.
get the label. There we go.
Yep.
So this is Guy Mousset. It's from Côtes du Rhône. This is 80% Grenache and 20% Syrah. It is a 2021, and it is 14.5 volume. So we're getting up there now in the ABV.
And by ABV, you mean?
Alcohol by volume.
There you go.
Thank you for calling me out on that.
Fancy
So, yes. Yes, for those of you that don't know that, that is how much alcohol, that's the alcohol by volume in the wine. And I always like to tell people that because sometimes you do want a higher alcohol, depending on what you're serving, and you want the heaviness of that. And this is definitely one that has that. This is your typical Côtes du Rhône color.
Love that.
In this region. It's a very, very, I don't know how well it's translating on this, but
Nice
it's a
and
very,
dark.
very dark plum. Huh? It's translating? Okay, good.
Dark.
It's very dark. It is a very dark plum, and it does have a little bit of a rim around it, which is a lighter violet. And as you can see, there's a significant amount of leg action going on. So it is a higher alcohol wine. A little bit of viscous, on the sides of the glass here. So it doesn't really show up very well. But trust me when I say that's what's happening. And then this is, again, I picked this for the same reasons because it's very versatile. Côtes du Rhône is a really versatile, great food wine. And I do feel like, again, this could go with most of the main dishes on your Thanksgiving plate. Definitely with turkey, with your yams, with your potatoes, with all of that, with veggies even. I've tested this out myself, so I don't say this out of nowhere. Côtes du Rhône really goes well with most things. I don't find it clashes, so I really like it for that reason. On the nose, it is very fruit forward, so I do get a lot of blueberry, blackberry, and definitely a little bit of that smoke and black pepper that you would expect from a Côtes du Rhône, and also cherry for sure. so good. Because this is 80% Grenache, it's very smooth. It's very easy drinking. Does have a little bit of, it's definitely acidic, but it definitely has that little bite at the end, which is good. I like it. Has a little bite at the end from the Syrah, but it's not too much. It's very balanced. I really like it. And I feel like this is a savory wine, if that makes sense. So it's definitely a wine that you want to have with more savory foods. It's just like, to me, it's just such a great match with everything. And I could definitely see this with poultry, with steak, with all kinds of, I mean, Argentinian food, Chilean food, taco. I mean, anything you could like think of that's like meat centric, also poultry. I also could see this with, like, depending on how you prepare it, like a blackened cod, or like something that's very spicy in that way, like a chimichurri, sort of like those kinds of things. Because of the spice and the pepper, it definitely, I feel, could hold up to that. If you wanted to have it other than your Thanksgiving meal with other things, it definitely would go with that. And definitely like, you know, your pastas, your red sauce pastas would be delicious with this. Just a really, yeah, really versatile wine. And also affordable. This was $14.99 for this bottle. They come in a lot of different price ranges as you go up year-wise, and different wineries in France. But this one is very affordable, easy to find, and I highly recommend this one too. Really, really good.
I love that. Yummy.
And also, this one would also go with the bacon wrapped dates.
See?
Yep.
White and red. White and red.
White and red.
Both turned up to it. I love that. Well, it's funny because I too, traditionally when we think of Thanksgiving dinner, we go with a Pinot Noir because it's a lighter red, not too heavy, but really nice on the palate. And I wanted to mix it up a little bit this year, not only because we'll have a bigger group at the table, but also bigger group at the table means more dishes that we'll be serving. And with that, I really wanted to take a minute. We mentioned what we might pour tonight, but like not intentional. I took blending off of your Côtes du Rhône and your GSM. I have just a Syrah.
Oh, nice.
So, but I went with a California Syrah. I was purposely looking for a cooler climate. I wanted a little bit more vegetal, less jammy, less darker fruit. So this still has it, but it still really brings up that black pepper note. And one of the reasons why I picked Syrah versus another red is because it has a little more body and oomph than Pinot Noir, but it's not as overwhelming as possibly a Cabernet Sauvignon. And though we love Cabernet Sauvignon, the tannins on this are suitable enough for a nice turkey, roasted turkey or baked turkey or grilled turkey, however you cook your turkey. It's nice enough to stand up but not overwhelm however you cook your gravy. And so I really wanted to go with this one because I wanted that hint of vegetal. So kind of, make you start thinking about those greens you should probably put on your plate, maybe a little less mashed potatoes. Like I wanted to think through something that was yummy but not overwhelming and would also make you think of some of the other foods. And I think what was super nice as well, this is actually I keep swirling the bottle, but or the glass, here's the bottle. It's Terre Rouge. So it is from California. It is a Syrah, and it's actually 2017. So it's got a little age on it. And so it's got a little age both in the barrel and it's got a little age in the bottle. And with that, it just kind of enhances that black pepper. I read something where Benjamin Franklin, I believe, used to do interviews for his interns, and he would serve them soup, and he would not hire them if they salt and peppered their soup before they tasted it. And so ever since reading that, I make sure to not salt or pepper my food until I taste it. And so that's why I then turn and look for wines that can maybe provide that black pepper flavor. So, you know, I can kind of naturally find the blend with my food. And so that was kind of where I went with this. And then two, you know, with the turkey, like everyone has a preference. Is the turkey undercooked? Is the turkey overcooked? I don't care. Like a turkey cooked, and I want a turkey with a little smoke on it. And if I'm not the one preparing the turkey, that's okay, because my wine has a hint of smoke. And that way I can still have all of the flavors I enjoy while eating and drinking. So this particular one, it's California. It is oak aged, as I had mentioned. But I think what was also interesting is actually the grapes are taken from two different parts of their vineyard. One of them are grown on the hills, so they have a little bit more sun, so it gives it a little more of that dark, jammy fruit. But then they also have some on the volcanic granite, and so it kind of brings in that natural smoky flavors. And so I think it's just really lovely. It's very silky, a little wild raspberry. You know, it's something with even little herbs to it. And so that way with the cinnamons or whatever savory tones you're looking for, you'll be able to get it. And I think it's just like a lovely fare to that. So cheers to our reds.
Cheers to our reds. I don't know if you saw, but Lily and Teresa are on from Corology.
I know. Yeah. Cheers, you all. Thank you for joining. I did.
Cheers, ladies. We love you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you loving this too. We love you all.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
Well, nice.
Yeah.
So those were our top picks. That's what I need to go back, and I will be serving some of this during our Thanksgiving dinner next week. And so in addition to that, we also wanted to throw in some honorable mentions.
Yes.
So that way we kind of give people some interactions and ideas of different wines and things. If you can't find this, no worries. We'll give you some other ideas so you can search in the store.
Yeah, so I have two other ones here that I picked just as a honorable mention. So this one is the San Gregorio Tempranillo. And Tempranillo, another one, really versatile, really nice, not too acidic, not too, I mean, it's a full, I would say it's a medium to full-bodied wine, but just really food-friendly. And this is Tempranillos you can find at every price point. They're really easy to find, and they're just affordable and lovely. And the other one, of course, I had to mention a Portuguese because we just did Survives on Wine. So this one is lovely. So,
nice.
Yes, Quintas das Carvalhas. This is from the Douro region in Portugal, and I cannot say enough great things about this wine. And if Kate were here, she'd be touting its praises. This is delicious and food friendly. If you guys have not checked out Portuguese wine, I highly recommend it. Very,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it as Kate was saying, not many people know about it. Enough people know about it, and it's affordable and delicious and really great with food. And I highly recommend this. This is really, really good. Easy to find. This happens to be a 2018, and it is 14% alcohol. So it's going to stand up. This is a blend, actually. This is 60% Touriga Nacional, 20% Touriga Franca, and 20% Tinto Roriz. So it also gets you familiar with some regions you don't know about, and you get to know some new flavor profiles. So fantastic. Try this one too. Really, really good.
Yummy. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think that's even better because like we're talking about wines that we've been exposing to, we've been talking to our guest about, and now we're finally ready to pour them ourselves. And I think that's what I did. I had to grab a couple other New Kent wines. The first one being a White Norton. And so with the White Norton, you can tell it is a rosé. I'm trying to get it in the right light.
That's so
it's got a little bit of that darker color though. So because the Norton is a darker red grape, and the White Norton is made from a red grape, so that's where it's get its colors and a little bit of the tannins. And so with that, it's only the ever most we ever put in sugar wise is 3% sugar. And so it sounds like a lot, and it could be, but then at other times we would do less than 1%. And that way it stands up to your hams, it stands up to your bacons, it stands up to your desserts or cheese platter if you have that beforehand. And again, back to the gravy, mashed potatoes, green bean casseroles, the cream of mushroom soup with that. It gives a good stand up and good pairing. In addition, I also didn't open this bottle because we save it, though we love it chilled, slightly chilled, we save it and we mull it. So mulling wines, which is just like the heated Glühwein. Excuse me, I spaced on that for a moment. The Glühwein of Germany. So we put a little spice, we put a little warmth, and it is Christmas in a cup, we would say. So it's just the holidays. It's lovely, chilled or warmed. It's something you can't not have. I also did a Meritage. So in true Thanksgiving fashion, Meritage is a wine that's made from the heritage of the Bordeaux blend. And so especially at New Kent Winery, this is something, it's a lighter red because it's a warmer climate. They don't, because of the growing season in Virginia, it doesn't get to sit on the vine for as long. So it has a little bit more of the spice, a little lighter in tannins. And so that way it pairs perfectly with the lighter fare at some Thanksgiving tables. So these were my two honorable mentions. Cindy and I could go on and on and on honorable mentions and pairings. But these were my extra two I had to pull out for tonight's podcast because they just deserve recognition. So you don't have to go to Virginia to find them, though I highly recommend it. Ask for Meritage, ask for a darker red rosé. There's a lot out of Spain. There's a lot from Grenache. You'll just look at the bottle and the color, and it'll have flavors that'll stand up a bit better to whatever you're serving. So my little honorable mentions there.
Yes, excellent suggestion. Rosés are great too, guys. I mean, you can find everything from super fruity to very dry. Search them out because they're really very versatile too and great with appetizers to start your meal as well. So check those out. I want to say thank you so much to everybody who's been following us and listening to our podcast. Andy wrote a lovely piece on her Instagram that I read and I almost cried. When I read it. It was beautifully written.
I sappy in that post.
Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. And I could not have said it better myself, but we are